Hello, this is Justin from the Tech Train here again, and in this tutorial I want to cover how to create an escape room using Google Forms. Escape rooms are a really popular way of presenting quizzes or challenges, particularly for students. If you look online for escape rooms, there are millions of examples of them, and it's a way for students to do a quiz in a more interesting way with a storyline, a theme, motivation, structure, and also of course students can work together in groups to try to complete these challenges, splitting the tasks up and then coming together with the solutions. So I'm going to show you in this video how to create your own escape room quiz in Google Forms from start to finish. I've got an example for you here to have a look at. This is something that I've done for a Year 7 class in doing IT. So we begin with obviously the Google Forms interface, and you can see that the first page is just simply the introduction. Now this is a key part of what makes an escape room quiz important or valuable rather, and popular, and that's a storyline. It's important to give a storyline or a theme and motivation to your quiz. So here we have the evil Lord Typo has stolen Mr. Arnold's rubber ducks. You've been chosen as the brave hero to rescue all of the ducks from Lord Typo's castle, but he has locked you in. Answer the riddles to find the keys, unlock the doors, and escape the castle with Mr. Arnold's rubber duckies. Okay, so that's the first screen that we see. There's nothing else here. There's no other questions at this point. We just get that introduction, and then we click the next button. So here we get door number 1. So you found the first rubber ducky, but you're locked in a room at the top of a tall tower. The door is locked. Solve the puzzle below to discover the key, and once you've found the key, enter it in the space below. If it's correct, you will unlock the door. If wrong, you could be locked in the castle forever. So here's the question, and you see here we've got a question that's basically a short text answer. So we've got a table, we've got some definitions on the right hand side, we've got the keywords on the left hand side, and what the students have to do in this example is to work out the correct order of the definitions. So Google Docs, which one of these is the definition for Google Docs? So we have that one there. D, a word processing program that lets you create documents such as letters. So the first letter of the key is the letter D. And then they have Gmail, which one of those is it? And so forth. And if they put in the wrong answer, so let's put in A, B, C, D, E, F, G, put in the wrong one, you can see that if we click next, the door remains locked. That's not the right clue. So there's no way to get to the second door or the second part of this escape room unless you get the correct answer. Now I have the correct answer, and I'm going to copy and paste that from my answer sheet. So the correct answer is in fact this. And when I click next, we're taken to the congratulations page. So you've made it through the first door, congratulations. You head down the stone spiral stairs and come into a large room with wooden tables and chairs and a suit of armor. You find a second rubber duck sitting on top of the helmet. So you pick him up and try the door. Oh no, it's locked. Solve the next puzzle to try to unlock this door. So again, you can see how in between each door, we've got a little bit of a storyline. So we explain the journey that the student is on. It could be anything from a Fortnite challenge, any popular computer game challenge perhaps, or it could be going through the school itself, through actual school. It could be anything at all. But as long as there is this storyline, that really helps the children, motivates them more than you might imagine perhaps. So now we click next and we're on to door number 2. So here again, we've got another challenge. So look at the writing below. Some words are missing. So we just got a closed procedure test here basically. Use the word bank at the bottom to work out the order of the missing words and take the first letter of each missing word and enter them below. So again, we've got very similar idea. It's a short text answer. So if we were to put in some random answer there and click next, the door remains locked, we can't proceed, we need to enter the right one. And you can see how this sort of question here is ideal for group exercises. So it could be that a group of 4 or 5 students divides this up, right, you try and work out this one, you work out that one, and they work together. And that can be really, really helpful. So I'm going to put in the answer for this question. So I'm going to copy and paste that across. There we go. Click next. There we are, congratulations, you've made it through 2 doors and rescued, I need to check that spelling there, rescued 2 rubber ducks. They both look up with awe and admiration. You're a hero. But as you walk through the large door, you follow a narrow stone corridor and turn left into another locked door. Solve the puzzle below to find the key. So let's have a look at the next one. So this question, it's another ordering one here. So we've got, in this case, these words are all mixed up. So they're all words to do with Google Docs in this case. We need to unscramble each word and take the first letter of each of those words. So that's another way in which you can create your key. So I'm going to put the answer into here, click next. Congratulations, as you burst through the 3rd door, both rubber ducks squeak with happiness. You step into a gloomy room with swords and shields, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to read all of that out. Let's go next. So here's another example of a question style that works well with escape rooms. So we have a list here of the icons and we've got the word bank at the bottom. So we take, again, the first letter of each correct answer. So we look at this first answer here, this first icon here. Which one is that? Okay, so we say that's drive. Okay, so the first letter is going to be a D. What's the second one? Okay, that's slide. So the next letter is an S and so forth. So if I take the answer for this one and paste that in, so all these quiz questions, they're all short text answers. Click next. And there we are, congratulations. That's just 4 main questions there. So the door bursts open, you run through carrying all 3 very happy rubber ducks, blah, blah, blah. And for my students there, I've actually got a link here to a certificate that they can download, put their name on, and then print off. You can do some similar reward if you want to. So that's the basic idea then. That's how the quiz looks from the student's point of view. That's the kind of question styles we can use. So let's look now at how we actually create an escape room quiz style like this in Google Forms. So I have a new blank form here in Google Forms, and I'm going to create the same escape room that you saw me demonstrate just a moment ago. So I'll show you step by step how we set this up. So to begin with, I'm going to have the title, so I'll call this Year 7 IT Escape Room. And then underneath that, in the form description, you want here to have whatever the scenario is, whatever we're going to explain is our story. So why are the students in jeopardy? Why do they have to follow through these questions? What is their task? Who are they? Where are they? You can add as much detail there as you want, of course, that's up to you. I'm just going to click at the top where it says Untitled Form here, just so that it copies the title from here up to there, so that it's easier to find that form later on. And once we've created this title and initial scenario, that's it for this section. What you might remember is in the demonstration, rather than having what you'd normally see in a Google Forms form, and that is simply a whole list of questions on a single page, in the escape room demo you saw just now, it was separate pages. So each section was a separate page and you couldn't go ahead, you couldn't see the subsequent questions until you'd got the previous question correct. So to do that, on the right hand side here, we're going to come down to this bottom icon which says Add Section. I'm going to click on that to divide this up into sections. Think of the sections as pages. So section 1 or page 1 is simply the title and the initial scenario. Once they've done that, they'll have a next button, and after this section they will continue to the next section, and the next section is the first challenge. So in my scenario, I was using doors in a castle, so this will be door number 1. And then again in the description, I will put a little bit of description that says, okay, so we're at door number 1, you're at that first challenge. this is where you currently are in the scenarios. It's not a question, it's just this is where you are in your journey. This is what has happened so far. Then we've got our question. So I'm going to copy and paste across what I had from the previous one, which is basically an explanation of how we're going to answer this question. So in this case, it's look at the table below, the definitions are in the wrong order, work out the correct order, and then take the initial letter of each correct answer. So you don't want to have a single word as an answer, that would be a bit too easy. You want to somehow have multiple answers they have to get together, and then put them in the correct order and then take the initial letters. That would be a classic example there of an escape room question. Now you'll notice that I've also put in here in the question bit, enter your answer in capitals. Now that's really important because unfortunately Google Forms is very bad when it comes to case. If you enter your correct answer as the teacher, if you enter that in, let's say, lowercase letters, and your student enters their answer in uppercase letters, or even puts an initial capital and then lowercase, both those options will be marked as wrong. So it's not very good in that sense. It's really good, you can do it, but it's very, very fiddly and faffy. So simple answer here is simply say to all, for all the questions, enter your answer in capitals. Then you only need to give one correct answer rather than multiple answers and multiple combinations. Keep it simple. Now the type of question we're going to use is not multiple choice, it's going to be short answer. Yes, you could use multiple choice, but I don't think they work as well because with multiple choice there's the possibility students can simply guess what the correct option is. And you don't want that. You want them to be forced to research, discuss, go and find out, go and learn and come back. It's not a quick quiz where they just simply know the answers and they put them down. You want it to be a bit of a challenge, bit of an exercise. So short answer is the best one to use here, and I'm going to click on the image button here so that I can get an image to use. So I've already got these that you saw earlier on, so I'm going to go to image 1 and include that. There we go. So now we've got the table and we've got the instructions. The next thing to do is to tell Google how to mark this. So if we come down to the short answer text, we've got that as a possibility. Underneath that on the right hand side, you want to make sure you click the required button, so it is required. And then just after it, there are these 3 dots. If you click on that, you need to choose this option that says response validation. So click that, and that now opens up this new row here underneath the words short answer text. So here we're going to change a couple of options. First of all, number, we're going to change that to text. Contains, we're going to change that to, oh no, I'll keep that as contains. Sorry, there we are, contains. So text contains. And now we want, of course, whatever the correct answer is. Let me just go back to my correct answer and copy that across. So that will go into there. So again, I've written that in uppercase to make sure that that matches the case we've said to the students to use. And then finally, custom error text. Here you want to have whatever the text is going to be displayed if they get it wrong. So in this case, I'm saying the door remains locked. That's not the right key, try again. And that text will be displayed if their answer is in any way not this. So that again is going to be the process we'll follow for all of our questions. So in this section here, we have the section 2, we have the door number 1 or challenge number 1 and the scenario. Then we have our questions set up with our validation, and that's it. So we're going to click on the add section button to add a new section. And this section here is going to be the congratulations for getting this question correct. So this will only be seen once they've got that question correct. So again, I'll just zoom in a moment there, and I'm going to use the title for this section, congratulations. And then of course we want to have a little bit of a description as what happens next. So we've got through that first door, right, where are we now? So you've gone through the first door, this is where you are now, this is what is happening. Oh, but you've got another challenge coming up. So now we need to solve the next challenge. So you can see that we've got kind of an alternating situation. We've got scenario page, question, and the question has two parts, little scenario and the question, then a scenario page, and then we're going to add another section, and this is where we have again a copy of this. So little scenario for door number 2 and then a question. So in this new section I'm going to call it door number 2 like that, and then we will have our text. I'll leave that description. Let's add a question to this door number 2. This question again will be short answer, and the question in this one is going to be the explanation text. So what is the way of answering this question? Again, it's going to be answering it in capital letters, and again I'm going to have an image which I will upload. So that's image number 2. There we go. So information, explanation. Here you'll have your scenario. Where are we now? Like that. And then what we're going to do is to come down to the bottom of this question here, and we're going to click two things. First of all, we're going to add required, and then we're going to click on the 3 dots and response validation. And here we're going to change that to text contains, and then whatever the correct answer is for this question. So I'll pop that in, again making sure it's in capital letters, and then whatever the error text is going to be. So if they get it wrong, what text do you want to display? Again, I'm just going to copy and paste it across for each one. The door remains locked, that's not the right key. There we go. And then after this double section, section 4, so that's the door and the question, we're then going to have our new section, and this could be another one that says congratulations, that's very impressive, you're here, or it could be your final statement. So I'm going to put congratulations, and then just copy across all that code. So this is right, there you are, you've done it, you're through, and you've won, well done. So you can add as many questions as you want. The only structure you'll need is to alternate between a scenario page and a page with a short scenario and a question, and then a scenario page and then a page with a short scenario and a question, and just keep alternating them like that until eventually you get a section which is a scenario, but it's the final scenario. Now, of course, you can also make a few other changes. So if you click on the little palette button at the top there, you can customize this. So you can add your own image, which I did. I put some rubber ducks on there. Choose your theme color, of course, and add all those details in here as well. And then you can start previewing that and making sure that it all works. So you can see here we've got our scenario page on the first one. We click next. Here's your description at the top and your question, and then you can put in your answer. Get it wrong, there's the error text. Get it right, like that, and we're on to the congratulations, and then we've got our next question, and so on. So that's how to create an escape room challenge or quiz or scenario using Google Forms. And you can just go to town on this, adding as much information as you want. You can obviously add more images if you wanted to. So in these scenario boxes here, you could add more images. If you want to, it's possible to actually split it into 2 different sections. So you can see how here we've got after section 1, continue to next section. Well, you can actually skip over something, so you could have different routes if you want to. I have got another video on my channel that shows how to create scavenger hunts using Google Forms. And that has that kind of idea built into it. So you can add pictures, you can add themes, you can add as many questions as you want to, and whatever the theme is, of course, whatever you'd like to do your whole story about. But it really is important for an escape room to work for students that you do have a story, you do have some kind of motivation. Get it as far away from being a test or a quiz as you possibly can. And these can take quite a bit of time, so you could have that as a long challenge for individual students or for a group of students to work collaboratively. The options are up to you. There are loads of examples of escape room quizzes and challenges online, so if you're stuck for ideas, go and have a look at some of those. You might well find that as far as the questions are concerned, you can reuse or repurpose many of the questions you've already got in other situations and use those. But there we are, that's how to create your escape room. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you found it useful, please do give the video a like, a thumbs up, that would be fantastic. If you have any questions or comments or suggestions, then do put a comment below. I do read all comments and I do try as quickly as I can to reply to all comments where necessary. And if you haven't subscribed to the to the channel, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, then please do that. And don't forget to click the little bell so you're notified when new videos go live. I am a teacher, I am working full-time in schools, so I can't always guarantee that videos will be uploaded when I say they will. It can be a little bit random at times, so if you hit the bell, then at least you'll know when a new video goes live. So thank you very much indeed for watching, and I will see you in a future video. Bye for now.